Have you ever noticed how some people seem to effortlessly gain respect without saying much? They observe, listen, and when they finally speak, it feels like their words have power. How do they do it? It's not luck. It's a strategic approach. One of the most brilliant minds in history, Arthur Schopenhauer, knew exactly how to use this strategy to his advantage. Today, we're going to talk about why Schopenhauer believed that playing dumb is actually a secret weapon to success and how you can use it in your own life. Now, before you think I'm asking you to act like you're stupid, let me assure you that's not the point. We'll break down this powerful technique and show you why sometimes less is more. So, let's dive right in. All right, let's start with the trap of being overly intelligent. Now, we live in a world where the loudest voices are often the ones that get heard, right? It's all about showing off what you know, proving to everyone that you're the smartest in the room. And I'll admit, there's something satisfying about being the one with all the answers. But here's the catch. Schopenhauer didn't believe in this approach. In fact, he thought that it backfired in a big way. You see, Schopenhauer noticed something in the way people interact. When you constantly show off your intelligence, people get uncomfortable. They start resenting you, whether they consciously admit it or not. Why? Because no one likes to be around someone who makes them feel small, or who always has the answer. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone who seems to know everything? It gets exhausting, doesn't it? Schopenhauer himself faced this problem. As a young man, he was highly intelligent, but his brilliance wasn't always appreciated. In fact, he had a hard time getting along with people because he was constantly correcting them or debating ideas. This wasn't working out for him, and here's the kicker. His own mother pointed it out in a letter she wrote to him when he was 19. She wrote, "Your intelligence is useless if no one wants to listen to you." That stung, right? But it's also a huge aha moment. Schopenhauer realized that intelligence alone wasn't enough to win people over. You have to be strategic in how you share it. So Schopenhauer had a revelation. What if, instead of flaunting my intelligence, I could hide it? This is where the concept of playing dumb comes in. But this isn't about pretending you're less smart than you are. It's more about holding back your brilliance until it truly matters. Why? Because, as Schopenhauer said, when people think they have the advantage, they lower their guard. When they think you're not a threat, they become overconfident. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're in a meeting or a conversation with someone. They're talking and talking, trying to show how much they know. Instead of jumping in and challenging them, you stay quiet. You listen. You ask subtle questions that make them feel like they're on the right track. You build rapport and let them think they're winning. But then, boom, you drop a piece of wisdom that completely shifts the conversation. Imagine the look on their face when you finally say something brilliant after staying quiet for so long. They're not only impressed, but they're also caught off guard. You just took control of the situation without having to prove anything up front. Schopenhauer understood this dynamic better than anyone. He realized that when you let others feel like they're in charge, they become more relaxed and more willing to accept your ideas. They don't see you as a threat, and in that moment, you have the power to turn the tables. Here's where Schopenhauer's strategy becomes even more powerful. It's not just about playing dumb. It's about mastering silence. We all know that silence can be awkward, but what if we use that awkwardness to our advantage? Think about this. The more we talk, the less people listen. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone talks non-stop, but you just zone out? It's exhausting, right? But when someone speaks less, their words hold more weight. And the more precise and thoughtful their words are, the more you pay attention. Schopenhauer was a big believer in silence. He thought that the wisest people don't rush to speak, they wait. They choose when to engage. And when they do, it's calculated, deliberate, and impactful. There's a famous saying, "The wise man speaks because he has something to say. The fool speaks because he has to say something." When you speak too much, your words lose their value. But when you speak with purpose, people listen. This is a concept you'll see in action with many successful people. The most respected. Figures often say the least, but when they speak, it's profound. Now here's a game-changing insight, the subtle art of suggestion. Let's go back to that idea of not challenging people directly. How often do we see someone argue or debate to prove a point? It's exhausting and rarely effective. Schopenhauer realized that one of the best ways to influence someone was not to directly challenge them, but to suggest ideas in a way that makes them think it was their own. This tactic is all about planting seeds and letting them grow in the other person's mind. Instead of saying, "I disagree," you ask questions that lead the other person to rethink their position on their own. It's far more effective than simply proving someone wrong. The trick is, you don't have to do much. Ask the right questions, and they'll start questioning themselves. You can use this in many scenarios. For example, in a work meeting, instead of flat-out rejecting a colleague's idea, try asking, "What if we looked at it from a different angle?" This will prompt them to reassess their idea without feeling attacked. They're more likely to adjust it themselves. This is where playing dumb and silence come into play. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to say much. Just drop the right questions at the right time and watch how people's minds start to open up. Finally, there's the concept of waiting for the perfect moment. Schopenhauer understood that the greatest minds don't rush to prove themselves. They take their time, observe the situation, and wait for the right opportunity to shine. Why is this so important? Because timing is everything. When you force your ideas on people too early, they're less likely to listen. But when you wait for the right moment, when the timing aligns, your words become much more impactful. The best leaders know this. They wait until the situation demands their input. Schopenhauer's approach teaches us to be patient. Don't rush into things. Let the world unfold and present you with the opportunities to shine. By waiting for the right moment, you increase the chances that what you say will have the greatest impact. So, there you have it, Schopenhauer's brilliant strategy of playing dumb. It's not about pretending to be less intelligent or giving up your power. It's about being strategic with your intelligence, using silence, subtle suggestions, and timing to your advantage. It's about letting others think they're in control, while you carefully wait for the right moment to make your move. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think this approach could work in your life? Have you ever used silence or subtlety to gain an advantage? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences. And if you found this video valuable, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future wisdom. Until next time, stay strategic and play it cool.